haven't posted much lately. We've been real busy dealing with food plots and stuff, late season food plots here in southern Wisconsin. It's been kind of feast or famine. Earlier in the spring we had a whole bunch of rain and everything came up great, and now it's stopped raining for pretty much the last month. I'm getting my new Knightmare, and this is my hunting bow, ready for this season. I actually have a black one you've seen me shoot over the last few months. I actually got the end of last year, and that'll be my backup for this year. So getting this bad boy ready to take out some whitetails. We'll be going to North Dakota here the end of August, so I've got about 6 weeks to practice with this bow and get it all set up and tuned the way I want it to. Be hunting whitetails and velvet, so that'll be kind of exciting. We got a new TV show we're working on. We'll be able to show that to you guys, or introduce that to you guys here shortly. Until they get the pilot and everything ready, we're not allowed to talk too much about it, but you'll be able to see the Rush Outdoors crew on TV later. Well, it'll be first quarter of next year in January. So, and I got another buck here that I'm doing for Rush Outdoors co-owner Mike Stadler. Finished up his bull buck. This is his muzzleloader deer. Shot with a muzzleloader, 200 yards. You guys can check that hunt out at any time here on YouTube. But we're going to finish up this bow, get it ready, sight it in, tune it, and hopefully here in about a month we'll be out taking out a few whitetails in velvet, North Dakota. So stick around and be excited. Hold. Tight. Semi-tight. Then I'm going to bring your main string to the opposite side you came up on before. Roll it in around your main string and back up through like so. I know you can't really see that, but that's kind of how it goes. So like that. That's straight. I only want about a ½ inch loop. That's about where I shoot it. So I pull it up about a ½ inch. We'll cut that and melt those ends off like so. I'm gonna give it about a ¼ inch. Melt that end down. About a ¼ inch. So you melt that end down just like this. You gotta be careful so you don't and yes, that hurts a little. Go. About a ½ inch string loop right there. Done. Alright guys, since this is my hunting bow, I'm actually going to use a ¼ inch peep on this. Just lets more light in for low light conditions, early mornings, later in the evenings, just before shooting light when some of the big boys show up. Otherwise I usually shoot with like a 3/16 or an 1/8 inch, depending on what I'm doing, whether it be 3D or spots on the indoor. But for hunting, I use a ¼ inch peep, so we're going to install that here on our Knightmare. And then we're going to tie it in, and we should be good to go to start shooting the bow. Alright, we're going to have to measure 5 7/8 to the center, which is going to be higher. We're going to have to spin that peep around, which is not a hard issue. Yeah, pop that out. Put it back in just like so. And that distance should be 5 7/8 to the center of the loop. Is golden. And we're gonna put I'm actually gonna put a brass knock on here for a kisser button, just because myself I actually like to feel the cold when the best time of year. That way I know for sure a couple different ways that I feel it on my lip, but I also feel where it is on my lip because of the temperature. So that is what I will be doing. Should be 1 3/8 to the top. There. I will squeeze on it right there. That is set. Finish squaring on it. And I balled it up when we put it on there. So she's square now. I use the tools. And straight back. Kisser button. Nice. I think I just pounded a hole completely through. It's in the bullseye. Right, so I've thrown my sight on there. This is a Sherlock that I actually hunt with. I realize it's a 3D sight, but these are what I use, especially for out west, for the adjustability. I'm going to throw my stabilizers and everything on the bow, try and get the weight to where I want it. V-bar setup that I use for hunting. I actually add probably 6 pounds to my bow, just because in the wind a heavier bow is more stable. A lot of guys don't like heavy bow, but that's what I do. And we'll put all our silencers on the thing and see how quiet we can get it, and then we'll run it through the chronograph and see what we get for speed. And that'll be it. Killing machine. Alright, now that we've got that part down, we're going to run it through the chronograph with the Black Eagle carnivore that I'm going to be hunting with, and a 125 grain point. That's one I use for broadhead. Whether I use the Thunderhead or the Spitfire, I'm going to do some experimenting. We'll see how that goes. I only hunt whitetails this year, turkeys, whatever. Smaller animals, not elk or caribou or mule deer at long distances, so the expandable will probably be fine. We'll see how our test comes out with that. But we're going to run it through the chronograph right now and see how it goes. Alright, well, this is our chrono setup. We're going to pop a couple arrows through here, see what we get. Kind of hoping for 308 to 315 range. Maybe a little bit faster than that. Both set at 60 pounds. The arrow itself is 7.2 grains per inch, 26.5 inches with 125 grain point. Obviously vanes, knock, and insert. I'll weigh it out, but it should come in, I want to say, right around that 330 to 335 range. So we'll see what we figure out and get a couple shots through. .313. .312. So that's the speed of my Knightmare, my hunting bow. 312, 313. That's quick for a hunting arrow if you ask me. I'm very happy with that. So we will check out our consistency with our fixed blade and our expandable broadheads and decide what we want to do. Basically hunting whitetails this year, so either one will work just fine. I'll do the math on the energy and the arrow, and then get back to you guys. I did the math on the bow, figure out the kinetic energy. I used 350 feet per second, or 350 feet. The arrow is actually 350.4 grains. Just rounded it off to 350, so it'll be a little bit less. And then obviously you have to multiply it by the speed squared, and then divide that by 450,240, which is the mathematics for figuring out kinetic energy, which is 2 times the accelerated gravity speed. When you do all the math, it ends up being a little over 75.5 foot-pounds of energy coming out of the bow, and that's really good, meaning the bow is very efficient for what it is. So I am very happy with that for hunting whitetails. Hopefully we'll be able to take a few good ones. We'll see how it goes.